Picture this. 1975. The fall of Saigon. The world sees images of chaos, desperation, and a country ravaged by decades of war. The future looks bleak, a landscape of ruins and uncertainty. Now, fast forward to today. Gleaming skyscrapers pierce the skyline of Ho Chi Minh City. Bustling streets are filled not with tanks, but with a vibrant sea of motorbikes and ride-sharing cars. Young entrepreneurs launch startups from trendy co-working spaces, and world-class resorts dot its stunning coastline. This isn't a different country. This is the same Vietnam, transformed. How did a nation on its knees rise to become one of the fastest-growing economies in the world? A true Asian tiger in the making. This is the story of Vietnam's incredible economic miracle. Following the end of the war in 1975, the newly unified Vietnam faced a monumental task. The country was in ruins. Its infrastructure was shattered, its fields were scarred, and its people were exhausted. The government implemented a centrally planned economy, collectivizing agriculture and nationalizing industries. But the model, meant to rebuild the nation, struggled. The late 70s and early 80s were a period of extreme hardship, often called the subsidy era. Food was scarce, rationing was common, and the economy stagnated. Hyperinflation soared to over 700%. The dream of a prosperous, unified nation felt more distant than ever. It was a time of survival, a test of the Vietnamese people's legendary resilience. Something had to change. The old ways were not working. A new path was needed, a bold new vision to unlock the nation's true potential. That change came in 1986. In a pivotal moment in its history, the Vietnamese Communist Party initiated a series of sweeping economic reforms known as Doi Moi, which means renovation or new thinking. It was a seismic shift. The government decided to embrace the market, moving away from central planning towards a socialist-oriented market economy. This wasn't just a minor tweak, it was a fundamental reimagining of the country's future. Private enterprise was encouraged, farmers were given control over their land and produce, and the country began to open its doors to the outside world. It was a courageous gamble, a leap of faith that unleashed the latent entrepreneurial spirit of the Vietnamese people. The effects were almost immediate. The markets came alive. Small businesses began to sprout up everywhere, from street food stalls to small workshops. A new energy coursed through the nation. Doi Moi set the stage for everything that was to come. It was the spark that lit the fuse of Vietnam's economic rocket. With the doors now open, Vietnam began its journey to become a new global manufacturing powerhouse. In the 90s and 2000s, it started with textiles and footwear. You've probably worn something made in Vietnam. Global giants like Nike and Adidas set up massive factories, drawn by the country's low labor costs and stable political environment. But Vietnam didn't want to just be the world's workshop for cheap goods. It aimed higher. The real game changer came when tech behemoths like Samsung arrived. Samsung invested billions, building state-of-the-art factories that now produce a huge portion of its global smartphone output. This wasn't just about assembling parts. It brought with it a transfer of technology, skills, and a higher value supply chain. Intel, LG, and Foxconn followed suit, transforming the north of the country into a major electronics hub. From t-shirts to microchips, Vietnam was rapidly climbing the manufacturing value chain, proving it could compete on a global scale. The manufacturing boom was fueled by a flood of foreign direct investment, or FDI. As Vietnam signed more and more free trade agreements, including major pacts with the EU and Pacific Rim nations, it became one of the most attractive investment destinations in Southeast Asia. International capital poured in, not just into factories, but into real estate, retail, and finance. But Vietnam's story isn't just about foreign giants. A dynamic local tech scene began to flourish. Vingroup, once a small instant noodle company, morphed into a sprawling conglomerate building everything from smartphones and electric cars under its VinFast brand to sprawling smart cities. Tech startups like VNG, often called Vietnam's first unicorn, created super apps that dominate daily life. This blend of foreign investment and homegrown innovation created a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle of growth. The world was not just building things in Vietnam, it was investing in Vietnam's future. At the heart of this entire transformation is Vietnam's greatest asset, its people. With a population of nearly 100 million, the country has a demographic goldmine. Over 70% of its people under the age of 35. This isn't just a young population, it's a highly literate, driven, and increasingly tech-savvy generation. The Vietnamese culture places a profound emphasis on education and hard work. Families make immense sacrifices to ensure their children get the best schooling possible. This focus has paid off. Vietnamese students consistently score highly in international assessments like PISA, often outperforming students from much wealthier nations. This young, educated workforce is eager to learn, adapt, and seize the opportunities created by the growing economy. They are the engineers in the smart factories, the coders in the tech startups, and the entrepreneurs dreaming up the next big thing. They are the engine of Vietnam's rise. Of course, you can't build a modern economy without the right hardware. Recognizing this, Vietnam has been on an infrastructure building spree. For decades, the country was held back by poor roads, congested ports, and an unreliable power supply. But that's changing at a breathtaking pace. Drive across the country today, and you'll see a nation under construction. New highways are cutting through mountains and connecting economic hubs. The stunning Golden Bridge in Da Nang became an overnight global icon, symbolizing the country's new ambition. Deep-water ports are being expanded to handle the world's largest container ships. Airports are being upgraded, and brand new metro lines are being built in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City to ease urban congestion. This massive investment in infrastructure is the concrete and steel backbone of Vietnam's economic ambitions. It's the physical network connecting every factory, every farm, and every city to the global economy, ensuring that the wheels of progress keep turning faster and faster. From the ashes of war to the forefront of the global economy, Vietnam's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. It's a story of resilience, bold reform, and the relentless drive of its people. But Vietnam isn't resting on its laurels. The government has set an ambitious goal to become a high-income, developed nation by 2045, the 100th anniversary of its independence. Challenges remain, of course. It needs to navigate complex geopolitical tensions, address environmental concerns, and ensure that the benefits of growth are shared by all. But if the last 3 decades are any indication, you wouldn't want to bet against Vietnam. It has proven its ability to adapt, to overcome, and to surprise the world. The land of the ascending dragon is rising, and its most exciting chapter may be yet to come. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as we did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next one.